Right guys, welcome back to the channel. So I think my last video I was looking at this little bad boy in here, the intake into the water pump. Cleaned it up, put a little bit of RTV on there, and I'm hoping when I put the pipe back on with a couple of Jubilee clips, he will be alright for the minute. So we've now moved on to turbo things. Bolted the Kraken Manifold and TD04 on. The previous owner had it exactly how it's set up there now, but I'm going to probably try and clock it over a little bit. Firstly, the oil feed will then be straight up and down rather than at a slight angle. I don't think it's like too bad how it is now, but I'd like it directly from the top if I can. And also that will then clock this bit of the turbo over a little bit, and this pipe will hopefully be somewhere like here. And the plan is basically the normal kits you get for these Turbo MX5s, the intercooler ends up being down sort of in behind here. Then you end up putting pipework right through, right up underneath, and yeah, you end up with loads of pipework. So my plan is to do similar to what I did on my old S14, and basically run pipe down here and a pipe from the intake down round here. So what I've done is I've cut out a couple of pieces of the steel here. This was one I prepared earlier. That way we're doing like that. And this side I've done the same. If I grab the intercooler, just cable tied this roughly in place, but to have the intercooler up here nice and high mounted, keep the pipework super short, and you know, keep out the way from damage. Right, so just split the turbo. I've taken this clamp off here. It's a bit like a V-band clamp. If you've never clocked a turbo before, essentially the three pieces as the exhaust housing, the intake housing, and then the center cartridge. And I don't know how well you can see there, but if you wanted to split the intake from the center cartridge on these TD04s, there's a big split ring there. Take that circlip out and you could literally spin that around as much as you want. But luckily now I've split them like that. Just a minute ago when I had it here before, it was sat something like, I think it's sat about there, and I'm just going to turn it now until the oil level is directly square, which is pretty much where I want this pipe to come out of as well. I don't want it too low because it's going to bash into this. So once I make up a bit of pipe work, this is the old elbow that used to be on. Also, if you're in the same position as me and you're refitting a turbo that hasn't been used for a while, so what you want to do ideally is get a little syringe like this. I've already done it on this one. Suck up some oil, put it in the top there, squeeze it and turn the bearings a couple of times by hand, and you'll see, actually you can see the residue just on that pipe there and down there from where I've squeezed it through. So essentially you've pre-lubricated the bearings in the cartridge there, because obviously if it's been sat for ages, it might be dry in there or whatever, so you want to make sure it's got some lube. Also, a good thing to do is to actually double check you've got a decent feed. So when you tap into wherever you're going to get your feed from, crank the engine over a couple of times, but without starting it, with this pipe, you know, with your feed pipe off, just to check that there is oil flow coming out of here. And then obviously your turbo is definitely getting. So I'm refitting this kit back onto what was fitted before, and I know this car was a running car with this setup, so I should be fine, but I probably will still do that just to make sure. As you can see, yeah, anyone else who's doing a TD04 or similar, got the two coolant lines here, so I'm going to tee them into that one on the intake for the water pump, which I was talking about when I had it off for the leak the other day, and then this other one here, because normally that pipe joins to there. So basically what I'm going to do, which is how it was before I'm pretty sure, is run a pipe from there up and then a pipe back from there back to the thermostat. So that's a nice easy feed for the turbo. There's a good bit now, I've clocked it around like that. The pipe should be nice and clear as well, shouldn't catch anything. Yeah, I'll move on to that and then come back to you again.